question a lot of us in here see the game as a crucial part of the journey to create the awareness, of course, especially before the new land sale as it gets more eyes on us. Now we don't really feel active anymore. We will have this active soon due to technical issues like Apple approval, login system. We're afraid we'll miss all the momentum here. Well, what we're going to be doing is combining and streamlining some of the comms between games and the rest. So Fads has joined us tonight. So it is an opportunity for Fads to also answer some questions for you guys as well. But from an overall perspective, it is a crucial part, 100%. And it is vital for onboarding, and it's vital for bringing people into the community. And as far as traction for attracting new people in, it would be definitely the single biggest pathway, road, or avenue in. So it is extremely important. I don't know if you want to jump in now, Fads, or you want to wait till later.
Sure, I can jump in now.
Okay.
Related to games, I guess I do understand that it was a disconnect for us when we actually stopped closed beta, and then there was a gap between closed beta and open beta. Obviously, there was a lot of learnings from the players over the last month when we were doing it. So while it is inconvenient for some people to wait for us to progress to a point where we are comfortable releasing a build that is safe, will allow people to actually earn crypto and NFTs and be able to cash out. I think I just hope that our community can give us a bit of their patience as well, because this is a very like what Ben said, it's extremely critical that onboarding is done right and that the system is secure. All the issues regarding the app store and all this kind of stuff, these are all teething problems. It's not a showstopper. Sometimes things take a bit of time and they drag. But it's important to note, at the end of the day, we are going to launch. It's not a matter of how, it's just a matter of when. And when we have all those things in place and the team believes that it's comfortable, everything's all right, then we will be able to onboard people rapidly and scale well.
We're just wrapping up the final details. Where will there be an RFOX Discord server, or will it merge the KOGs server? So, Joiner, we're looking. I don't know what's been said yet, so I'm trying to make sure I don't trip up on or say anything.
No,
we're trying to.
Yeah. Chino pasted the new link. It's discord.gg/rfox.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so we're trying to make sure that everything's all in the one spot. That's what I like to hear. Let's fucking go. Does this mean that there'll be one?
Basically, just a quick update. The structure is already ready. It's just that you guys can't see it yet. So once we open the floodgates, then you'll get to see everything.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hidden new channels.
Kino, don't spoil it for the rest of us or the rest of the community.
Chauncey, Discord server is down 100 people since last week, and booster pack sales are a fraction of what they were before. I think just again in relation to that one, I'd say give us a week or 10 days or something, and then I would say that I would say the answer to that question, quite simply put, is if nothing was being done about any of that stuff, yes, I would be worried, and I think it would be a concern. But the fact is that things are being done, and I personally can't sit on my hands much longer. I want to get rolling, and I know the team do too. So we've got some pretty cool stuff that we to deal with that. So not worried at all. It's an interim thing, and it's about to rapidly improve. Fads, could you? I've had a question for you, Fads. Fads, could you elaborate on the form iOS cloggers need to fill me, please? Ha! He's changed it. Fill in, please. Are you there, Fads?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. So are you talking about the form that was released by James today, artist?
Yeah, he is.
So that the reason is because when you sign up via Apple ID, it does not give your exact email address. It's masked by Apple. So that email, we need to track it to make sure that when we transfer the coins to the mainnet wallet, it's the actual account and not some random account that you're going to sign up with again. So every time you sign up for something over Apple ID, they don't use your actual email address if you use that option. So when we go into open beta, you are going to make a mainnet account. So for closed beta, we're using a testnet. So you have to make a new RFOX ID on a mainnet account, and we have to make sure that it's you that is signing up and not another pseudo email that Apple is giving us.
Fads, one more. What other issues are preventing COGSLAM from being released into open beta?
Mostly making sure that the cash out is done properly. So there's no point us releasing the game if there's no cash out experience that is easy to use. Don't forget, if we're onboarding a lot of people, these people are not savvy at all. So we need to make the process for them to be able to earn RFOX or NFTs and be able to export them or cash them out as easily as possible. So what you take for granted in terms of MetaMask and all this kind of stuff, the people coming in, or the majority of the people coming in, may not necessarily have played NFT games before. So the user experience has to be as straightforward and as simple as possible. So that's why we brought in players like Renee into our team, because he will be the first hand be able to tell us whether or not our cash out experience is smooth or we need to improve it as well. There's a question here regarding moving vacant pools to other common or uncommon. The answer is no. I've answered this the last week as well. So if you want those pools, you go for it. We will not be giving handouts to common or uncommon if those pools are not filled. People have been talking about scarcity, and I think this is scarcity in play.
Can you share any mitigating strategies being put into place in prep for public launch? If AIM is still 50 to 100,000 users, approximately 350 beta testers seems small, especially if testing for scalability network overload.
Well, the main intent for closed beta was to figure out all the bugs that we have in the game itself. Open beta is when we really scale, and that's when we see a lot of numbers. I mean, we were able to get the data with the 5,000 people that we onboarded for the game itself, especially related to the login system with our partner. So we're going back and forth with our partner to make sure that that experience is smooth. And then for open beta, that's when we really scale. Nobody scales in closed beta. So if you're familiar with game development cycles, closed beta is when we figure out all the initial bugs and build the foundation properly. And then open beta is when you scale and watch the performance of our server architecture and user experience when we reach a high number of concurrent players.
Any roadblocks with RFOX ID? The RFOX ID, we've just tried to smooth a few things out, but RFOX ID is important ecosystem wide. So it's more about how to also implement that into the other businesses, because RFOX ID is not something that just gets used on games. It gets used on absolutely every venture. So after games, the next cab off the rank was for the media team, and that includes TV, so RFOX TV and media. So it's more a matter of making sure that it works and it can scale. As you know, we work with an external partner, and this would be for sure their biggest rollout as far as how many people this will service when the whole ecosystem has it. We got last one, Fads, I swear. I think no promises. I'm still doing daily missions on COGSLAM, and I still receive the coins I have earned. Will I still receive the coins I've earned after the 8th of October when open beta is released?
Atis, I hope you're asking this question on behalf of somebody, because we've already told you very clearly that the snapshot was taken last week and no coins earned after the 8th will be counted towards your transfer.
There are play-to-earn games launching daily now, it seems. What approximate timetable do you have for the actual game launch after open beta?
We are going to release the roadmap this month, and you'll be able to see the timelines for all the different projects that are launching this year and approximately to mid of next year.
Any plans to keep KOGs busy after staking? Because we all know staking going to be so silent.
I guess the next activity is definitely open beta, so there will be a gap. What we want to make sure, like I said before, if there is a gap, we'll find a way to do community events. But our focal point is essentially coming out with open beta as soon as possible. That's what the team is working on.
Yeah, as stated, I think there's some things being worked on now to try and also bring some interest. Something does not give any benefit case stock earning. What's the best way to tube my KOGs to see what full collections I have and tube them? It's the best way to tube my KOGs to see what full collections I have and tube them. Which site do you think? Are you talking about any site or tool in particular?
NFT Hive.
Yeah. NFT Hive's they've actually come quite a long way in a short period of time, haven't they?
Yeah, it's spectacular for finishing your sets. You can select buy all the ones you're missing at cheapest price.
It's really, really good how they've done that. They've capitalized on a few glaringly obvious holes that were not being filled in some of the other marketplaces and some of the other sites. Another one for you, Fads. Question for Fads. I know you don't want to give exact date for open beta, but it's still realistic to go open beta in the last week of October.
Well, like I said, we will update next week when we release the roadmap. If we are going to face delays, we will announce them. But as of now, I think we are still in the testing phase for some of the critical elements that have not been put into place yet. Yeah, I just wanted to say I think not a lot of people know that even though the team is quite small and we're not really that big in the ecosystem yet, RFOX Games is already a profitable company. So it's just a matter for us to scale with this kind of results or performance, and that's when the real money will come in.
And that's what we're working on now. Is the really important thing is to make sure that everything is balanced, right? Because you don't want to have a situation where everything is just you've seen it before in the wax ecosystem, especially when you've got these new companies that just pop up out of nowhere and they've got these NFTs, and then out comes this game straight away, and then comes this token, and then it's just like a money printing machine that just pays out token, and it's great for like 2 days or 3 days, and then it's just like bang, tokens. So the thing is, you've got to really just balance as well. You've got to make sure that there's people coming in the other side, and there's people investing in there, and there's a whole financial model at play that allows early investors or people that are scrupulous investors to be able to sort of make wise decisions. And you've also got to make it so that you've got people coming in that can have very low barriers to entry to be able to also participate and earn as well. When do we get a chance to interact with Miss RFOX? So a slam challenge, hey? I think, I don't know what I can say in relation to that. I think that, we've been talking to a number of the different contestants about what we could do going forwards. I think at this stage, I think it's fair to say that some of those people are a lot less approachable or harder to get to than others, because they all, for the first time, I think we mentioned this previously, for the first time this year, it was mandatory that all of the contestants have managers and agencies look after them and all the rest of it. So there's a whole process to go through. Not like the good old days when you could just go tap people on the shoulder, but we're getting there with some of them for sure. Would you think from 500, I'd have some finished collections? Yeah, I think the biggest thing we came across with KOGs-completed collections was that people didn't understand that you couldn't have one KOG count in 2 sets. So a lot of people actually put a tube together and then realised, hang on a second, I'm missing one from my other set. Where did it go? And the fact of the matter is, it was actually one KOG being classed in 2 sets. I'll trade with you to help you get a tube close to me. I have 11 tubes I bought a while ago, staked them. Hoped I'd have some finished ones also. Would do, but it's so freaking hard for me to know what I need. It's time consuming. Yeah, BGH, I think it's definitely worth spending a little bit of time to get your head around NFT Hive and how that actually all works, because their system at least makes things a lot easier. Back in the old day, remember back in the beginning, Pete, it was just an Excel spreadsheet.
Always an Excel spreadsheet.
It's easier just to sell them an instant buy for a collector after that. Will you trade your aquamarine 13 foils, Benny, or are you in love with them? If it's a 1 of 1, I'm probably in love with it. There's no doubt about that. How do you predict prices per shop in coming land sales due to the new marketing plan and Dave talked about? So, George 74, obviously if it's an auction system, you can't really have any understanding. It depends on market conditions and it depends on levels of interest and all the rest of it, obviously. But all we can do is possibly have some rough guideline or idea in our head. But I think that the people that we're introducing into the vault should give other investors a lot of confidence. But ultimately, something's worth what a person's prepared to pay for it. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes forward. But ultimately, the momentum will only increase towards the fourth quarter sale for sure, because of the fact that bigger players do come in or partners come in, and that traction inevitably comes from that. So it's a matter of just waiting and seeing how people play out or how it reacts.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate the value of the COGs they're holding because they haven't gotten around to completing sets yet. So one of the strategies I've seen happening over the past week is people actually selling the COGs that they have and basically earning wax enough to buy and complete their sets. And the other one is the people who are actively trading to complete their sets itself. So if you really want to complete a tube, it's not just brute force buying packs non-stop until you finally are able to get a tube. It's also a combination of being able to trade with people, make friends on Discord, and just scoop up really good deals that are happening on the market right now. So it will take a bit of effort for you to get a tube in some cases, but in most cases, I think it's quite straightforward. There are people in the community, for example, collecting a set like lands and taking anywhere from 6 months or more to be able to find those cogs in the market and be able to complete the sets. So it is really clear this time around that we're rewarding the effort of people who spend a lot of time to complete tubes and be rewarded accordingly.
RFOX Games Rainbow Collection are best rainbow tubes. Now I can't find where to link my ETH address. Do I need to link it for RFOX staking rewards, or are you? So you're talking about you're talking about tubes or coins? The only problem is sometimes it feels like you can't keep a cog you like because people are desperate to tube it. Yeah, I had that as well, Phantom. I had a couple people that were sort of saying, I'm big in the community and you should give me that cog, and I broke a couple of sets to help people complete stuff, and then they said, I just decided to sell it, and I was like, oh no, then I couldn't get them back.